guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Hey, I wanted to take an opportunity to weigh in on something that I know is on your mind. First of all, I know it's on your mind because it's almost Christmas and you're watching me, which means you probably are worried about this thing I'm going to talk about. So first of all, happy almost Christmas. Secondly, I know you're worried about how am I going to enjoy my new life in Italy if I don't speak the language. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, well, I don't really need to speak the language. I know I can get by without it. And there's various different ways, and we'll be in an expat community and that kind of thing. Look, you got to learn the language. Life is just not fun if you can't communicate. And you don't want to feel dumb all the time. You know, the thing about not learning the language, so many times when I was trying to learn it, I would feel stupid. I don't like that feeling. So I decided to learn the language. And the expat thing is very good. We love expats. We love all the friends that we brought over and everything else, but they're not going to be there to translate for you if you're in the hospital, for example, where I was recently. Thank God I spoke Italian. They're not going to be there always to translate for you. And in addition, you want to be part of the Italian community. Really, I think you do. I think that's why a lot of people go over there. So the first thing you have to get over is the idea that you can't learn it. Everyone with average intelligence and even below average intelligence that has working mental equipment can learn Italian. That's just a given. So these ideas, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I've heard that one. I can't learn languages. All of these things, you need to just let them go because they're not true. If you haven't learned Italian previously or haven't learned Spanish or French or whatever language you were studying in high school, are two reasons that I can think of. Number one, perhaps you weren't taught correctly. Number two, you didn't live in the place where you were going to be learning that language. Now, going to school and learning a subject for an hour a week is great, but then you go out and speak nothing but English. It's going to be different this time. You're going to get a tutor, which is what I recommend, and learn Italian and then go practice it. You have to practice it. You can't fear feeling stupid. You're going to stumble and you're going to maybe feel dumb, but that is only short-lived because once you really start practicing and you really start using it, you're going to start rolling. Now, I speak 3 languages, some better than others, but I can get by in them. Of course, everything comes out Italian now, but if I were in France for a few weeks, I'd be speaking French like I was. If I were in Spain, I'd be speaking Spanish like I was. But right now, it's all coming out Italian. But that said, I've learned how to learn the language. I was lucky enough when I was 17, my dad took us all over to Brussels, put us in Catholic all-girls school. There were 7 of us kids, so we went to all-girls or all-boys Catholic schools, which was culture shock beyond belief. But guess what? We came out speaking French. Another thing that was vitally important was we went to class in the evening, 2 hours in the evening, after, however many hours of head-spinning French school that I didn't understand anything, we would go and study French. And the teacher was brilliant. Most of what he had us do was conjugate verbs. We conjugated verbs for 2 hours, three nights a week, I think it was. We would just conjugate verbs. And that was the winning trick. Once you do that, everything else is easy. It's just vocabulary. Who cares about masculine, feminine? They still understand you. Who cares about the articles? They're not going to care if you say ye or la or la. They don't care. They can understand you. But the verb conjugation, so important. And second to that is vocabulary. And those things come with time, but you have to study the verb conjugations in order to really get them. Now, get a tutor online. That's my first suggestion. Secondly, another really important thing that I did that helped me really learn French, I was there for 9 months and I spoke pretty darn good French when I came home. And the reason for that was because I went to the tabacceria and I found a magazine called the Paris Match. And Paris is in the title. It must be pretty high-end magazine. Well, it was a celebrity gossip rag, which was good because they're not known for their literary writing. They're known for just common everyday writing, which was perfect because that's all I needed. So I had my little dictionary and I would read the Paris Match. Didn't care about French celebrities, didn't know who they were. It was nice to understand that this woman does the splits every day to stay flexible. That's great. But the bottom line was I would read it and I would learn French as I read and look up all my words, use them in sentences, get really the idea of what the word means. And then it was easy. Then I started rolling. And then I'll never forget, one day somebody asked me a question. I went, French, 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 French. And it was fabulous. And that day is coming for you with Italian. There are days I still struggle. You know, if I don't eat well or sleep well, I'm like, I can't talk. Other days, I'm like, Italian, 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 and it's all great. Now, those days are in your future. I know this, and I know you can learn it, and I know you're going to. So take my advice. First, lose any idea you can't learn it. Lose any idea that you don't want to learn it, because you have to. Make sure you study it, get a tutor, and then also get some little fairy tales or some Italian cartoons or something like that, comics, and translate those. Really start digging into it as a really fun project, because it is really fun. And the day will come when you're at a restaurant and you go and the waiter asks what you want, and you go Italian, 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 and then everybody looks at you and goes, oh, look at you. And yeah, look at you for sure, because you're going to be doing it, and that day is a really, really satisfying day. So there you go, guys. You got a homework assignment. Go learn Italian. See you soon.